What is going on, everyone? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today, a little change of schedule. I know we were going to go through the future of League of Legends act, the next act coming up and stuff, but I figure we can do that anytime. Yo, what up? Yo, what up, Emo? What up, Miser? What's going on, everyone? We are going to go through the lore of Blitzcrank because he's coming to 2xKO in the beta. A beta I've never seen access, but I would love to. And then why a lamppost? We're going to go through Jax, get his whole full story explained from Akathia's last warrior to RUNETERRA's greatest hero. So a lot of people don't understand where he even comes from or what he is. I honestly think he's a Vastaya, honestly. We'll get into that. Let's go over Blitzcrank, get through his lore, secret in Jace's journal, which he's holding in the 2xKO. Morning, yo, what up, Luffy? Blitzcrank is full story. The Great Steam Golem, a complete deep dive into Blitzcrank's lore. The Golem in the spotlight, with the announcement that Blitzcrank will be joining the roster of Riot Games' upcoming fighting game 2xKO, which, freaking good move, because this whole 2xKO roster, too much human. RUNETERRA has a ton of people, and I don't want to hear Ari, guys, okay? I always do that 2xKO news. I always end up like at that website. I don't even know what it is because I type 2xko.com. They gotta just buy that URL. Look at this champion roster. I'm not saying it's bad. Okay, I'm just not saying that it could have been better. And I like the champions that are there. Don't get me wrong, but it's a short list. I just want to see like all the champions. If I go here, yeah. Where is it? Yeah, okay. So Vi, human from Zon. Jinx, human from Zon. Braum, human from Freljord. Alawi, human from Bilgewater. Yasuo, human from Ionia. Ari, human from Ionia with ears, with fox ears. I don't want to hear Vastaya. She's the most human Vastaya we got in the game. I want Mord on 2xKO. Exactly. Give us Mord. Give us freaking... Give us Kindred. I really want to see Kindred as like, because it's a 2v2 game. Give me Kindred, but their switches are really strong. That's like their key ability, but you have to play them in both slots. Give us Alistar. Alistar would be great in here. And we need a Yordle for sure. Okay, Echo, human from Zon. Darius, human from Noxus. Like, this was your basic roster, and these characters need to be in the game. Okay, I don't want anyone saying that I don't like the roster. I like the characters that are there. These are some of the best characters in RUNETERRA. But it doesn't represent RUNETERRA well. Finally. And although it is from Zon, that's true. Rumble, Jax, maybe Shyvana. These are the characters that I want to see. Like I'm really happy that we got Blitzcrank because it shows that they're willing to go into these types of characters. We are still in Zon. Okay, there's a whole world out there. We could have gone anywhere. There's like, if I just go to Shurima, give us an Ascendant, give us Renekton, man. Renekton would be an awesome 2xKO champion. Look at this guy. This guy, easy 2xKO win. Yeah, ton of Trundle, man. Yeah, listing him exactly. Freaking Trundle would be a great champion. Give us the trolls. Where's he at? Trundle. We already saw him fight Darius once in a cinematic. It looked awesome. Would be great. Yeah, but I'm extremely happy that we got Blitzcrank. I think we needed him. He's the first non-human champion revealed for the game. I hope we get more. There has to be a Yordle. Volley would be great. It doesn't have to be to scale, right? I think one of them said in an interview that, oh, we can give you a Yordle. We were thinking about Yordles, but it's the size. It's a size issue. It doesn't matter. No characters to scale. Blitzcrank is probably bigger than any. If you put Blitzcrank in this game to scale, he'll be bigger than every champion in there right now. He'll tower over Braum. You'll see him in a cinematic in a bit. Dude's big. Rumble, if you think like scaling's an issue, exactly, you could put Rumble and just put him in a mech. But there's got to be a Yordle. This deep dive will cover the complete story from a humble waste disposal unit to a self-aware protector of Zon. exploring every connection from his creator Victor, his ally Echo, and the tantalizing mystery presented in his latest appearance. Because there is some new lore that we see with Blitzcrank and 2XKO just from his image alone. Every Gunnar, yeah, Gunnar would be awesome, and his abilities, he definitely grows for sure. It would be dope if they released both Nasus, yes, and Renekton at the same time, since they are brothers, yeah. And Yone, I mean, you could include Yone in there. Yone is pretty cool with Yasuo, but he still follows the human trend. But I don't think they would give us 2 new characters at the same time. Yeah, no, I think Blitzcrank is definitely the next character. We're not gonna see another one for a little bit. But yeah, I just want to see like the breadth of RUNETERRA realized in 2XKO, and that 2XKO is such a pretty game. I want to see a story mode like Mortal Kombat has like a story mode. I like Mortal Kombat. I think it's a fun game. I like there's like that Marvel cinematic fighter game that I played through. I like that too. Those are fun. But I like the story modes as well in those, and I feel like 2XKO could easily win from a story mode. You got with Blitzcrank, you've got the Zon map now. Legends of Runeterra is able to play you through a story and just like these points on a map. You could definitely do that with 2XKO as well, and give us like a full story mode where we're playing through these characters. If you got right now, we got Blitzcrank and Echo. I'm gonna bring this up again later about a possible story mode for 2XKO and how it could work. Let's get into Blitzcrank's lore a little bit, because this guy's looking great. Here he is, Blitzcrank.
Hostiles approaching. Reciprocating hostility. Helping.
Man, he looks awesome. I'm probably gonna be playing Blitzcrank like every single game.
Trash detected.
That's like the best line in the whole game. Trash detected.
Failure.
Look at the wind up. Look at the freaking Donkey Kong level wind up. Man, he looks great. Yeah. Yeah, Blitzcrank's my main at this point. I might not even switch him out.
Shall we damage some enemy units? Ready.
The voice lines.
Mustache man, you are encumbered by tiny pests.
Did you guys hear that line? He said, hold on, let me pause this. Where's my mouse? Mustache man, you are encumbered by tiny pest. He's freaking talking about poros.
You are encumbered by tiny pests.
Man, poros are great. He reminds me a lot of the Giant in Multiverse. Yeah. The Giant was my main in Multiverse too. That's what it was called, Multiverse.
Charge.
Yeah, I like Multiverse.
They are not constructed like me. Error.
He goes to shake the hand and it freaking falls.
Rotate.
Look at the map, by the way, guys. Look a little bit at the map behind him. Look at Zon with the painted glass. Zon is so... I wouldn't want to be there, you know, because it's toxic waste runoff. That's why it's green, and the gray probably doesn't taste very well. But man, you know, Zon's got a look to it, and it's pretty. It's got its own style. You can see a Cheerian right here in the background. If you look at the back right, you guys see that Cheerian right there, looking cool. Let's finish the trailer, and I want to show you guys a couple of things that I noticed while we were watching. Cheerians, I think, are going to be playable in the right of mode.
Is that proper trash talk?
Is that proper trash talk? They would put him with Echo. It makes sense.
Engage. Hazardous unit contained.
The power.
Unit dismantled.
It's a pretty cool alt.
You should change your settings to win.
Yeah, okay, he's an awesome champion. The move list looks awesome. He looks great. What I wanted to show you guys is that, first of all, Zon be looking, well, I wanted to say clean, but it's not really looking clean, but it's looking cool. The Zon aesthetic is nice, yeah. Fireflies on the left, wall 2. Yep, the fireflies. You can see on the painting on the back wall right there. Where is it? This is probably the best shot you can get of it. think there's probably more. But yeah, the Fireflies on the left side. Cheerians again. If you look at this little bat guy right above his arm, right above his wrist right here, that's a Cheerian. That's like Scar, or was his name Scar in Arcane? I think his name was Scar. But yeah, Cheerians I think are going to be playable in the Ride MMO because they're really leaning into them in Zon, and they'll probably be playable out of Zon. We need those like side. Right now, there's like human Yordle Vistaya, but if they can add in like some of these more human models, Cheerians definitely could be an easy playable race in the Ride MMO. You can literally see like that painting on the left side of the Cheerian on like this septic tank. Background right, kids painting graffiti on the glass too. Yeah, let me see that. I see those kids in the bottom right where his feet are. Where's the right background? Let me try to get it. I see a hoverboard over here. If you look behind, where is it? Right there in the middle of them, you can see one of the Firelight's hoverboards, and you can see like one of the Firelight's hand things that they use, just running around with just random stuff and whacking people with it. Yeah, those. Oh yeah, those kids are running graffiti. Yeah, we're on the right earlier, but I'm in the. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, this looks like, honestly, what this looks like to me is a Firelight hangout. It looks like you're hanging out in a Firelight hangout, lower pits of Zon. You can see some Zon stuff behind it, but man, Zon is cool. Wouldn't want to live there. Wouldn't want to. But Zon itself is pretty cool. Yeah. So we got Blitzcrank and 2xKO. Great move. First non-freaking human champion. And not that I got anything against humans, right? I'm a human, okay? And I understand Ari. I keep saying that because I don't count Ari, guys. I really don't, okay? Ari is the most human Vistaya we have. She's... people dress like this to Comic-Con, okay? Part 1. Forged in the Fumes. An Origin. In Zon. Oh yeah, grenades on the ground. Yeah, there were a lot of grenades too. To understand Blitzcrank, one must first understand his home, Zon. It's a sprawling undercity district, a dark mirror to the glittering city of Piltover above. Light in Zon is filtered through a constant haze of chemical fumes and reflected off stained glass and corroded pipes. Yet it is a place of vibrant culture and unrestrained innovation. Here, unfettered development of volatile technologies and reckless industry has rendered whole swaths of Zon polluted and dangerous. It was in this caustic environment that Blitzcrank's story began. He was not unique at first, but one of many lumbering mechanical golems toiled in violently hazardous locations. According to his biography, his sole purpose was to remove the toxic waste that was claiming entire neighborhoods. However, the very mission he was built for was his undoing. The corrosive reality of Zon's pollution wore away at his robust form until he was rendered inoperable and discarded as useless. You could see Zon, guys. If you don't know this yet, I mean, I feel like a lot of people know where Piltover and Zon is, and they don't know where anything else in the world is because of Arcane. Zon's over here. This is where Zon is. It's literally underneath Piltover. If we go here, I think there's a great picture. Yeah, you can see like the different levels of Zon. Some different stuff. People of Zon. The Chem Barons. There's one picture that I saw. I think was it this one? Well, you can see a little bit of Piltover up here, and then you could see like crossing these bridges, Piltover, and then underneath just this sprawling labyrinth of Zon. Yeah. This is, I mean, only rich people would be here. This is pretty high. The higher you are in Zon, the richer you are. That's how it works. The lower you are, the poorer you are. And if you get really rich or are, you know, drafted up to the academy, if you're really smart, that's how you make it to Piltover. And if you're in Zon, you probably want to make it to Piltover. Part 2, the Spark of Consciousness, Victor's intervention. Now, there is one thing that I think will be retconned, and I'll talk through that, but everything else still makes sense in the canon lore. So here we got Victor, the new Victor. Useless to all but one, the brilliant and at time And at the time, Piltover inventor Victor discovered the abandoned golem. Seeing potential in the inert chassis, Victor began a series of experiments, aiming to elevate the automation far beyond the original design. His key ingredient was Hextech. Lore note, it's important to recognize that this part, what I'm about to read, is probably going to be retconned, and this is currently in Blitzcrank's biography. Implanting a priceless Hextech crystal sourced from the deserts of Shurima into the chassis of the Forsaken Golem, Victor waited with bated breath as the machine rumbled to life. Now, we do know in Arcane, Victor goes down and still cares a lot about Zahn, tries to help. It absolutely makes sense that sometime off screen, Victor would go down to Zahn and use some Hextech to augment these bots that were discarded because they lost to the corrosive waste of Zahn. The thing is, we no longer source Hextech crystals from the deserts of Shurima, not because of Arcane, but because of Skarner's lore. And then Arcane kind of the last nail in the coffin, that it was invented by Jace and Victor. It used to be sourced by Skarner. So Skarner used to be the Brackern who were in Shurima. That's what Skarner was before he became freaking great. And I love Skarner's lore. He's now in Ishtal, and they no longer source hex crystals from them. So completely different thing. So that's probably going to be changed within the League of Legends universe. And then so let's keep that in mind. Here is the birth of Hextech. So this is where they made Hextech in Arcane. Now I can't play like too long of it.
Time to crank it.
Time to crank it.
All yours. Incredible.
And then next time, they manage to get it because Jace remembers how it works. I love the line, "Will you stop hovering?"
You've actually done it.
I'm not sure how to do that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean. Will you please stop hovering?
I'm not sure how to do that, sir.
I'm not sure how to do that, sir. Victor named the golem Blitzcrank. After fizzing arcs of lightning that now danced around his frame, an unexpected side effect of the Hex crystal sent it back to his duties. Blitzcrank was now faster and more efficient than any of his brethren, but something truly miraculous began to unfold. His creation was learning. This is extremely important for his 2x KO portion that really, honestly, one image adds a lot to his lore. Blitzcrank began to innovate, interpret, and extrapolate on his directives. He started interacting with the people of Zon, evolving to the very cusp of self-awareness. This evolution was something Victor, for all his genius, could not replicate, making Blitzcrank truly one of a kind. This growth came with some quirks. Lacking concepts like nuance, Blitzcrank would pursue any task with the entirety of his being. This led to incidents like smashing down the front door of a tenant building just to let in a resident who had lost their key, or more consequently, tearing an entire factory apart. A parting ways, an unlikely alliance. So dispatched to clear a neighborhood of toxic chemicals, Blitzcrank traced the pollution to its source, a factory owned by a powerful chem baron. His logic was flawless, if brutal. So basically, Victor sent him back to, clean up Zon. And he's like, oh, well, there's a bunch of toxic runoff. I need to find the source to stop it. And he does find the source. It ends up being a chem baron's home. So reasoning that the most efficient means to prevent further pollution was to eliminate the source of said pollution, Blitzcrank proceeded to destroy the factory, their lightning-wreathed fists not stopping it until it was reduced to a mound of rubble and twisted iron. So yeah, he completely annihilated this factory, but he wasn't alone. This act of logical destruction appears to be depicted in the Climb cinematic. Here we see Blitzcrank fighting alongside another Zonite hero, Echo, against what appear to be a Chembaran thugs in a polluted industrial area. Their shared goal of protecting Zon's people from its toxic industry makes them natural allies. We all know Echo, the boy wonder, cares a lot about Zon. If you've seen Arcane, he goes out of his way for the people of Zon, trying to find them a home, trying to find them clean sources of food and air. That's really what the Firelights were all about. So Echo and Echo and Blitzcrank just make sense. And if there's a Chem Baron who owns a factory that's polluting Zon further with toxic runoff, you better believe Echo wants to get rid of it as well. But if we go here, the climb. You guys ever see those transition videos, by the way? Like on TikTok, like really good transition. Freaking no one does transitions like Riot. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that transition into Echo here. What an awesome one. Talia comes down over the sand, ducks in. That's an awesome transition. Okay, Echo, this is the scene. There's Blitzcrank. Looks like a factory to me. Bunch of Chem Barons. I mean, a bunch of thugs who work for a Chem Baron in the factory. And then it switches to, I'm pretty sure we'd never see him again. But yeah, I'm sure Echo's fine. He tends to survive stuff like that. Yeah, that definitely looks like a Chem Baron factory that they are destroying there. And there's definitely Blitzcrank right there in the background helping out. Or should I say Echo's helping out Blitzcrank? Natural allies. This scene really is probably why they put like him in allied with Echo and 2XKO for his fights. He looks so shiny there. Yeah, he does. His 2XKO model is so cool. Like the image of him for 2XKO. Let me scroll down here really quick. I love his 2XKO. I think the art style for 2XKO is so good. But yeah, he does look shiny in that image. I like his Wild Rift model too. His Wild Rift model is cool. Although he looks like a bit top heavy in Wild Rift. I don't know why. Like his body just looks a little bit big on the top and stumpy on the bottom. His 2XKO model has bigger legs. Same with League of Legends. So yeah, they're logical enemies for sure. I mean, logical allies for sure, Echo and Blitzcrank. The factory's owner was enraged and demanded Victor destroy his creation. Victor, who had come to see Blitzcrank as a living being, refused and planned to smuggle him to safety. But before he could, Blitzcrank was gone. Having grown into full self-sufficiency, Blitzcrank had resolved to continue his mission independently. This moment is perfectly captured in one of Victor's in-game voice lines, where he encounters Blitzcrank and says, "I see you have evolved all on your own, Blitzcrank." I thought I included that, but Victor, voice lines, League of Legends. Yeah, if you go to audio, Blitzcrank. Yeah, right here.
I am certain not to seize the strength in my mission, Ambassador.
What? Oh, wrong
I
one.
see you have evolved all on your own, Blitzcrank.
Yeah, I see you have evolved all on your own, Blitzcrank. That's Victor's new line, by the way. That's his new skin. So his lore definitely carries forward. Victor is still Blitzcrank's inventor. I really think it's just that one turn of the knob with the hex crystals being sourced from Shurima, which isn't the case anymore. But he's still from Victor. It just happened off screen during Arcane sometime. I want to see Mord and 2XKO art style so bad, man. Mord would be awesome. I don't count Mord as human. I count Ari as human, but I don't count Mord as human. He's beyond human at this point. Part 4. The Shepherd of Zon. No longer bound by Victor's directives, Blitzcrank became his own master. He now patrols the Undercity, deciding for himself how best to protect its citizens and shepherd Zon toward a bright future. His evolving personality is beautifully showcased in the short story Ensemble. In it, Blitzcrank perceives the cacophony of the city not as a noise, but as a symphony. When the rising howl, Hextrolic Descender malfunctions and plummets, he acts swiftly, saving the passengers. After a rough landing, he says, "Sorry about that." Statements of empathy can be reassuring to humans in moments of crisis, showing his logical yet caring attempt to understand humanity. His alliance with Echo, glimpsed in the cinematic, is further reinforced by their shared purpose. Echo, the boy who shattered time, is a fierce protector of the lost children of Zon, fighting against the very same oppressive forces. Their relationship is confirmed in Blitzcrank's 2XKO gameplay trailer, where he greets his friend with a simple, direct proposal. Greetings, Echo. Shall we damage some enemy units? So, obvious allies. And I love Blitzcrank's voice lines like, sorry about that. Statements of empathy can be reassuring to humans in moments of crisis. Blitzcrank's a great character. I'm really happy to see him in like 2XKO. The Fighting Golem. Blitzcrank transition to a fighting game character feels natural, and his 2XKO profile and moveset are deeply rooted in his lore, and expands it. We're about to get into the expansion part. Archetype. He's classified as a grappler, with likes listed as sparks, fulfilling programming directives, hugs, and dislikes as messes. This is the perfect summary for his character. And I think I put it down here. Oh, yeah, I put it twice. And then he has some voice lines like helping, reciprocating hostility, trash detected, which is a remnant of his past, yeah, because he used to pick up trash. Punching makes my fists go clang, reveals a charming childlike simplicity. Is that proper trash talk? And you should change your settings to win. He's a great character. His abilities too, like waste disposal, garbage collection, trash compactor, that's what his abilities are called in the game. Static Field literally unleashes raw Hextech energy that gives him life. So, and you could see some of those abilities here. He's doing like Static Field, I think. Where's Static Field? I saw it a couple of times. I know I saw it at least once in this trailer. I mean, kind of see him doing it there. That's Static Field. You can see it around there a little bit. Right, in his ult, but he definitely used it outside of his ult too. But yeah, the names of his abilities are great. Now here's the crazy part, unfolding the mystery, the journal. So in Blitzcrank's art for 2XKO, he's holding some random journal and pointing at it. Like he was just reading it. He's pointing it out to you saying, like, this is his journal, right? It's not his journal. It's actually Jace's journal. Perhaps the most intriguing new piece of lore comes from the 2XKO key art for Blitzcrank. In it, he is seen holding and intently reading a book that bears a striking resemblance to Jace's journal, the Council Archives. This is the Council Archives book. I mean, guys, it's the same book. It's the same book. Very, very similar. In the Council Archives, there's lore in it, like it covers Hextech, how it was invented, all kinds of stuff like that. I mean, Jace invented Hextech, so you would think that his journal included a lot of stuff around Hextech. This raises really interesting questions. The journal contains the origins of Hextech, the secrets of arcane crystals that power Hextech and serve as Blitzcrank's heart, and the detailed history of the falling out between his creator, Victor, and his partner-turned-rival, Jace. Now, why is Blitzcrank reading this? He could be on a quest, in my opinion, for self-discovery, seeking to understand the nature of his own existence and the power source that grants him sentience. He may be trying to understand his creator, Victor, by studying his history with Jace. This act elevates Blitzcrank from a simple protector to a seeker of knowledge, being grappled with his own identity. From a discarded pile of scrap to a sentient hero wrestling with the secrets of his own creation. Blitzcrank's journal, well, now Blitzcrank's journal was Jace's, is one of the most unique in all of RUNETERRA. His story is a statement to the chaotic, beautiful potential of Zaun, a place where even a machine built in the trash can evolve a soul. His appearance in 2XKO, journal in hand, promises that the story of the great steam golem is far from over. Okay, I want to say this about Blitzcrank. I want to see 2XKO evolve the story a little bit of RUNETERRA. Like, this wouldn't be that much of an uplift. This scene right here, where Echo and Blitzcrank are fighting a bunch of these in this Chembaron's like hideout or whatever. There's a factory, right, that's pulling runoff. It has toxic runoff all into Zaun. You could easily add this to 2XKO. You put like, maybe it would take a new map background, sure. But if you put them in Zaun and just explain the story going into it and then have the Zaun map background with Echo and Blitzcrank fighting a bunch of random mobs that come in waves one after another, and you're forced to tag team them for the story, you can absolutely like tell these stories in 2XKO, just like Mortal Kombat, just like Immortals, whatever. It wouldn't be that much. So I want to see 2XKO expand the story like that. I think they could, and I really don't think it's too much of an uplift. They can use the existing maps and the existing characters. You just have to add cinematics in between. And that's Blitzcrank. Coming to 2x KO. I really like Blitzcrank. I'm really happy to see him in 2x KO. Next up we got Why the Lamppost? Jax. So for Jax, we definitely need some different music. What do I want to play for Jax? I think this makes sense. Ascended Oasis. Why the Lamppost? At least it's Shurima themed. The full story explained. Akathia's last warrior to RUNETERRA's vagabond. The Grandmaster at Arms. Let's get into Jax. Jax is the last weapons master of Akathia. I said Akathia. Man, you know, it just gets stuck in my head. Like, I don't know why I always say Akathia just because it reads like that. It's Akathia. From Akathia's last warrior to RUNETERRA's vagabond. Jax is the last weapon master of Akathia, a man driven by immense guilt and a singular purpose, to find warriors strong enough to stand against the void. This is a tall task because literally ascended gods couldn't stand against the void. Maybe 40 random champions in the Rider mode will have a better chance. The very power that destroyed his homeland. Once known as Sejex Kali Rinks Ikathun, he now wanders RUNETERRA as a vagabond, testing the might of all he meets with a humble lamppost, forever searching for allies to face the coming darkness. And here he is, Jax, with his lamppost. The son of Akathia. Before he was the Grandmaster at Arms, he was Sejex Kali Rinks Ikathun, born in the nation of Akathia, a land subjugated by the vast Shuriman Empire. If we go to the map of RUNETERRA, you can see Akathia. It says the Void. It wasn't always the Void. And it's down here, and this is Shurima up here. And Shurima really oppressed and controlled Akathia. Not in a good way. They were pretty much tried to erase their history. If you were Akathian under Shuriman rulership, they were almost erasing your culture. So anything that you used to do that's Akathian is now outlawed by law. You are a Shuriman and you need to behave like Shurimans. So if you guys did a dance every Saturday as Akathians, well, now under Shurima, that dance is literally against the law. So it wasn't always the Void, and currently in Shurima, if on present day, it doesn't even exist on the map. They pretty much erased it from history. Not just the people as they were trying to do, but the land itself, because they don't want anyone to go there or remember that it exists, because it's now riddled with the Void. His father filled his heart with tales of Akathia's former glory and a deep resentment for their conquerors. At this time, Shurima was already controlling them. He learned of the legendary Kohari, elite warriors who served Akathia's Mage King and chose ritual suicide over surrender. Driven by this history, Sejex dedicated himself to combat, becoming a prodigious student of arms. Sejex committed himself to the study of arms, learning from Shurima's weapon master, as well as his own clan's elders. The coming of the Void. Centuries into Shuriman rule, a massive earthquake in the province of Sabira unearthed the dark and terrifying power. Sejex was tasked with escorting the mages who discovered it. He immediately recognized the immense danger of what they called the Void, an unknowable, uncontrollable weapon. I gotta change this from Blitzcrank. What am I doing? What am I doing? I don't think Jax is actually in, is he? That would be great, but I don't think he is. Oh, he is. Great. I should have put him from the beginning. There he is. Jax with his lamppost. Looking great. Move this over a little bit. Very nice. Where was I? Okay, as a mess, he immediately recognized the Void as dangerous. It's immense danger, what they call the Void, an unknowable, uncontrollable weapon. As a master of weaponry, he knew the danger of using a weapon they could neither fully understand nor safely harness. He regretted that he didn't kill the mages as they rode from Sabira. He would regret it even more in the days to come. He literally was willing to kill them to protect Acacia. By the way, the Twitch stream title says Belveth and Zolani. Well, that's annoying. Let me fix that. I don't think oh, I didn't fix my YouTube image, did I? Good call. Man, there's so much stuff that you have to do, like, going into the stream. Let me mute this lady. Wait. Live. Where's my, Oh, I'm on the wrong channel. There we go. Content. Live. I hope it's not the same here. Why did it do that? Belveth and Zolani. It's Blitzcrank and Jax. And then this one's probably the same thing. Yeah. Blitzcrank. And I gotta change freaking Twitch too. I'm not gonna worry about the other ones just because I don't got that kind of time. Drive, my drive. Where is it? There we go. Supposed to have this thumbnail. We'll just add like League of Legends, Jax, Blitzcrank. I'm about to spend too much time on that. Wish I would have done that earlier. I gotta remember to do this stuff while like the going live thing. While that going live thing is happening, I promise you guys, it's not like I'm doing nothing. I'm just like trying to get everything set up. It takes a little bit. Your channel. How do I've never really done this from here on Twitch. Just go here. Okay. Blitz. Crank. Oh. Crank. And Jax. There we go. Okay. Blitzcrank and Jax. I think we're good now. Nice. Oh, this card changes. I thought everything good? Looks fine to me. Oh. Okay. We'll leave that for now. Okay, I think we're good now. At least I fixed YouTube and that, but everything else might be a little wrong, but it's fine. So he was really willing to kill these mages carrying the void that they discovered. He was literally willing to do it because he thought that he needed to protect Acacia. And this is a decision that he would regret. Yeah, it can get overwhelming. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I love doing this, so I love talking to you guys about the lore and talking through the lore with everyone in these videos and in this stream, so it's just worth it. Despite his warnings, the Acacian Council saw the void as their only path to freedom. They crowned a new mage king and reformed the legendary Kohari. Sajax, ever the patriot, was among the first to join. And this is Zillion. He plays a big part in Acacia. He's a very important character. He's also in Wild Rift. I know he is. He's got an awesome model in Wild Rift. He would be at the bottom. Yeah, look at this guy's model in Wild Rift. Yeah. Zillion's a great character. I want to do a video on him for sure. Let's go back up to Jax. Ooh. Another prominent Acacian, the elemental mage Zillion, also saw the folly in this plan. He pleaded with the council, recognizing that unleashing the void would lead not to victory, but to annihilation. He looked to these reasoned, wise Acacians, but saw only madness in their eyes. As much as it grieved him, Zillion would rather his homeland's revolution be crushed than to let this abomination be set loose. The fall of a nation. The rebellion began with a surge of success. The reformed Kohari were formidable, and Sajax was their heart. He was a veteran warrior even then, respected and admired by his comrades, as seen through the eyes of a young Kohari named Aksumuk. Sajax was the beating heart of the Kohari, a shaved-headed giant with skin pockmarked by the ravages of the childhood illness. and a forked beard stiffened to points with wax and white chalk. This initial victory was short-lived. The full might of the Shriman Empire, led by their god-like ascended hosts, descended upon Acathia. And you could see this battle happening here. These are the Acathians on the right, and this is the Shuriman army on the left. And this is a line from between Azir and Ajax today. So to show that that resentment still really exists.
You need not follow, but you will witness.
Gonna witness this lamp in your face.
Yeah, so he still doesn't like Azir. Makes sense. Faced with certain defeat, the Acathian mages made their fateful choice and unleashed the Void. The result was a cataclysm far worse than conquest. The Void did not distinguish between friend and foe. It simply consumed. And you can see this is the Void War in Acathia. The orange shields are really probably Acathians. The yellow shields are Shurimans. At this point, Acathia was losing, and so they unleashed the Void. And the Void has no ally, no allegiances, no providence. So they started killing everyone. At this point, it's not Shurima versus Acathia anymore. It's both versus the Void. Yes, he has many cards with his companions too. Yep, I'm going to talk through those. You can see this, Void Rift, as well as these, which are basically Voidborn, very early on versions of Voidborn. Voidborn don't come out looking like Kha'Zix or something like that. They come out looking like this, and they kind of take shape over time. But yeah, the Void War with Acathia, very bad. Runes swept over the land as Acathians, Shurimans, and even Ascended were unraveled from existence. The city's walls collapsed as the Void swallowed thousands into cold, silent oblivion. In moments, Acathia was lost. As Acathia crumbled into the gaping abyss, Zilean used his mastery of time to save a fragment of his people, removing his tower from reality itself, freezing its inhabitants in a timeless stasis. I don't know if Jax is aware of this, that Zilean literally pulled some of Acathia into like almost a frozen time pocket. I feel like he will eventually. This is definitely a story. The story of Jax, Acathia, Zilean, I think you're going to have like an expansion. If I had to name it, I would be like, for the Ride MMO, I would say RUNETERRA Chrono Keepers. I really think the Ride MMO should just be called RUNETERRA, but I think that expansion would be called Chrono Keepers, and it would have to do with, you'd start out with Jax, you'd meet him, he'd talk to you, like explain Acathia and everything that happened. Eventually you'd meet up with Zilean, and you'd actually get to see this Void War happen. Zilean's desperate gambit. So this is a little bit about Zilean. Trapped outside of time, Zilean now endlessly searches the past, present, and future for a timeline where he can reverse his home's destruction, a burden that weighs heavily on him and his students. So Zilean basically recruits all these people from different timelines. This is in his tower. You can see a little bit of the Void in the background on those beams. But this tower and everything around it, at least this portion of Acathia, is removed from time. Yo, thanks for the follow, his man. Over many years, this is his Legends of Runeterra cards, how it reads. Over many years, Zilean established a network of promising young mages from different times, all of whom were capable of seeing out his life's work, should the unthinkable happen. Although the kind and encouraging mentor, deep sorrow creased his brow when he sought solitude, and there was a weariness in his eyes that only someone who has lived multiple lifetimes could hope to comprehend. And then here's his other card. Countless possibilities stretched before and behind him. He saw them all at once, a dizzying array that only he could decipher. With a single gesture, Zilean could unfold entire timelines, but none had yet shown him how to save Acathia. You could see Zilean here. I love his Legends of Runeterra. If we go to I just want to show you guys this. Zilean's Legends of Runeterra animation is so great. I mean, how many people are going to make a rise and fall of Legends of Runeterra video? I mean, jeez. Legends of Runeterra is my favorite game from Riot, by the way.
Magician. A mad old hermit.
I love this cinematic from Zillion, just because I feel like this is how Zillion should be in the game.
Some call me a prophet, a magician, a mad old hermit. But my eyes have never deceived me, and what I observe troubles me.
He sees all this stuff. He's looking at like the Noxian Ionian War. I really want to show you
I
guys
see
this.
the same mistakes, time and again.
I can just let you guys watch it. It's cool if you want to watch it. Man, that guy gets smacked hard.
But time, like so many things, is a construct, a convention of those who fear... Confound it. Where was I?
I love that.
Ah, yes. The convention of those who fear their fate and endeavor to bury the past. But here's the secret. Fate is also an illusion. Should you find yourself in despair, the solution is simple. Pick another fate.
What an awesome cinematic.
For victory comes to those who choose their outcome, not those who let it choose them.
Yeah. It's such an awesome cinematic, and I feel like it really shows Zillion and the power that he has. Yeah, there's so many freaking people that are making that video, and I don't understand why. The Legend of Terror is actually doing pretty good. Hey, Legend of Terror is a good place right now. Sajax survived the apocalypse, overcome with grief and shame. He went to the crater where his home once stood, intended to commit the ritual suicide like the Kohari of old. But there, amidst the devastation, he found a single brazier stave, still burning with an elemental fire that repelled the void. This flame ignited a new purpose within him. He took up the stave, a symbol he called the last light of Acacia, and forsook his old name. From that day on, he was only Jax.
My heroic last stands never seemed to stick.
Yeah, because he survives pretty much everything for some reason. Grieved and ashamed, Sajax Kali Rinks Kohari Ikathun forsook his old name, and from that day was known only as Jax. That's why his name is Jax now. He took up that name after. And so we could see a lot with him in Legends of Runeterra as well. For centuries, Jax wandered Runeterra, his life unnaturally prolonged by the flame he carries. He has become a legend, a mysterious warrior who can defeat any opponent with a simple lamppost, a self-imposed handicap to find a fighter truly worthy of a real weapon. Centuries ago, Jax lost his homeland to the void. This is what his card reads, his card art. Centuries ago, Jax lost his homeland to the void. Now he travels the world searching for warriors with the strength of will and the sheer gall to one day stand against that terrible foe. And then here's his evolved card out, and it says, Acacia has been quiet a long time, but while I'm still standing, her people's roar will echo forever. You can see a couple of the related card arts in the background, which we'll talk through. Yeah, Jax is an awesome champion. His iconic weapon is a testament to his belief that true strength comes from the wielder and not the tool. It's literally a lamppost, a stick with a heavy bit at the end, weapon enough for me.
Whoa, 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 this ain't just a lamp.
Which is true. It's not just a lamp. Again, he did discover it. He found it. Where is it? It's a single brazier stave still burning with elemental fire that repelled the void. So this is not just like a lamppost with some fire on it. For some reason, this fire is special and was able to repel the void. So it's a pretty special lamppost. It is a lamppost, though, nonetheless. The Vagabond's companions. Though often seen as a lone wanderer, Jax has gathered a small, eclectic band of followers during his travels. Each companion is a capable fighter in their own right, drawn to the Grandmaster's cause. So first, the Fire Earth Reaper of the Sands. Jax asked the Fire's name 24 times in their first weeks of travel together, but she would only ever growl, "I am the Reaper." Brushy found a novel solution. He just baked a cake, you see, and needed the name of the group's strongest member to properly celebrate. And this is some voice lines.
Just me, or did it get a lot scarier in here?
Huh? No, Jax, I'm on your side. Don't worry. Jax, teach me a new secret move.
You kidding? I'm waiting on you to teach me.
So this is like, it looks like honestly like a little kid, some little girl that was running around Shima who's lured, who really likes Jax and works with him. And there's the Acathian Mirage. This one's really interesting. Perhaps they are a mirage. Perhaps she and hers hail from a remote, hidden village. She says nothing of her origin, and Jax does not ask. But when she rises from the sands and stands beside him, they fight in perfect, soundless, impossible harmony. So I don't know who this is, but this Acathian Mirage literally rises up and fights alongside Jax at times. It's not like a copy of Jax. It's a girl, and also the hands don't match or anything like that, but...
Icathia is gone. We are her mirage. The Ikathun are born weapon in hand. A broken blade aches for one last strike.
Don't do memories. Do war, though. You in?
Am I? Yes, I am in. You bound toward war and cower from Icathia.
Guilty. And guilty.
I mean, cowering from Acathia is not unwise at this point. Acathia is literally real little void, so I don't know. Wandering Shepherd. So this guy's from looks like Targon. He's of Vastaya. Jax helped Chaska rescue their herd from rampaging Feyfolk. Then Chaska rescued Jax from rampaging Feyfolk. They travel together whenever one of them doesn't wander off.
You don't have to shout bonk every time you hit someone.
You should try it. Bonk, bonk. See? Fun.
Yeah. And then there's the Piltover Castaway. Pesh met Jax in a dockside brawl, and their timely escape was more convenience than partnership. But Pesh has been ferrying Jax about ever since, because things break around Jax. And if there's one thing Pesh likes more than a good scrap, it's a break in need of fixin'.
Hey, Captain, how's the ship holding up?
Still full of holes after you taunted that sea monster, you dolt.
Yeah, I love the Pesh art a lot. Yeah, the Pesh art is great. Where is it? The Reaper of the Sand. This one, right? Where is it? You talking about this one? Very MMO-like. Yeah. The boat guy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this guy. Pesh, what am I saying? I just read him. Yeah, Pesh, very MMO-like. Guys, the right MMO is going to be great. I'm going to keep the hype going for years. Oh, right, it's Thursday. Yeah, what up, intro? It is Thursday. Wait, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. I know lack of Monday kind of messed us up. How to skip 4 years. I know. Don't worry about it. It's going to happen without aging. Look, I think the ride MMO is farther along than we anticipate. Maybe I can go through that article with you guys. I have an article on riotgrove.com that goes through. We'll go to it right after this. So the fall of Acathia haunts him, but it also fuels his resolve. He carries the weight of his lost civilization and the hope for RUNETERRA's future. When the final battle against the darkness comes, Jax will be there to meet it, even if he must stand alone. Let's be honest, he's not going to stand alone. He's going to have a group of random adventurers from the Ride MMO. Right? Right, guys. Okay. Let's play... What do I want to play for this Ride MMO talk? I do like the Hall of Valor one. What do I want? Maybe Demacia? I like Demacia. I like Demasia's music. There's also a Piltover, which is really good. We'll leave it on Demacia. Alright, that's the end of Jax's story. That's where he is now, wandering, looking for champions. His stick, it's not just a lamppost, guys. It's a fire that literally repels the void. It's quite powerful. But yeah, it is a lamppost. You could call it a lamppost, but it's more than that. Zillion removed an entire section of Acathia from time. And the Void War, that's in the past. But Shurima erased Acathia from history because, well, you don't want people going there. Yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there. Exactly. We're going to be there one day. Don't worry about it. Right MMO is going to come out. It's just a matter of when. And a potential playable raise. The Great MMO Reset. I think it was... We can go over this. I think we can go over this tomorrow if you guys want. New rules, new direction. Not the... We're going to go over like the timeline for sure. But potential playable races. If we have time, I can go through this. But... It's like all the races that are playable and who I think will not be playable and stuff like that. So that's a pretty cool one. So let's go forging new rules, new direction. So this is the most recent news that we have. This came out on July 25th, 2025. Forging RUNETERRA, new rules and new direction. So this is the great recalibration. I think, was this the right article? Yeah. So the journey for Riot Games' highly anticipated MMO has taken decisive and optimistic turn. In March 2024, Riot co-founder Mark Merrill, a lot of people know this already, confirmed that the project underwent a significant reset of its direction. While initially causing concern, this pivot is a powerful statement of Riot's commitment to quality over speed, a move that ultimately increases the project's chance of becoming a generational game fans are hoping for. The initial vision, this is from his tweet, it says, the initial vision just wasn't different enough from what you can play today. We believe players don't want us to make a World of Warcraft with a RUNETERRA skin. A lot of people claim that they do, but even me, who I was a big fan of World of Warcraft for a long time, will tell you that I don't want World of Warcraft with a RUNETERRA skin. It's got to be something new. Otherwise, people will just continue to play World of Warcraft. I follow all the MMO job posting and the progression. This one was juicy. Yeah. This is exactly what so you know what I'm talking about there. This is a direct promise to the community. Instead of a safe, fast follow, Riot is doubling down on its mandate to create a significant evolution of the MMO genre. To accomplish this, they are going dark for several years, giving the talented team the creative freedom they need. This is a costly, patient strategy that most studios couldn't afford. But for players, it's a sign that Riot is serious about getting this right. I think this was a good thing. I really do. I actually believe that this was a good thing. The blueprint, first light from the forge. While the team builds in silence, the first concrete details of the MMO's new directions have emerged through recent job postings. Orlando Kiribu Salvatore, a lead on the project, highlighted 2 new roles, giving us an exciting look at where their focus lies. So the listings were for a staff software engineer, one of the server systems, another for core tech. These senior architects are being brought on to build the absolute core of the game. Their responsibilities point to massive undertaking, creating large foundational components of MMORPG technology and designating a sustainable, scalable solution for a distributed network of servers. That's the important part. So the staff software engineer, the role is key in creating a truly massive, seamless world. The goal is likely to overcome technical hurdles of traditional MMOs, such as sharded servers or zoned continents, to build a more unified and immersive RUNETERRA. So literally, if you go to this job listing, which it looks like it got filled at this point. I think it is. Staff software engineer, server systems. Server, yeah, so it got filled. I wonder if there's any new jobs at this point. Probably not. Principal game designer, progression and economy, principal VFX artist. So yeah, these are 2 new roles. I haven't seen these ones either. But in terms of these roles here, we were talking about that. This is the core tech engineer was built in Unreal. The engineer will ensure the game client built on Unreal works flawlessly with the custom-built server backend. This is crucial to delivering the kind of fluid, responsive gameplay Riot is known for. Both of these roles were important for distribution of the game. When it comes to actually playing, like, actually playing the game. Not because it's not just a local game, right? This is MMO. You're going to be interacting with hundreds of people. It's got to be servers everywhere. Both these roles are around that place. So the hiring of these roles, best new fans could ask for. It confirms the team is in deep, technically intensive pre-production phase. So we're no longer in like the early pre-production phase where they're just designing the game or coming up with ideas or figuring out how the game's going to work. They're now building it out, like actually building out the back end for us to play on. So they're focusing, and they aren't just decorating, right? This isn't a pre-built house. They're forging this foundation at this point. So this is my timeline, what I think would happen. So in 2021, that's when the MMO was confirmed. That's when Ghostcrawler like literally said it on Twitter, which was way too early. In 2024, they said, we're going to have a reset. That definitely happened in 2024. And this has already happened. So right now we're here. This is still all pre-production. But I think we're ramping up. By the time 2026 comes around, we are going to be in production. I think in 2029, we'll get alpha. 2030, we'll get beta. And 2031, we'll get launch. There are 2 MMO jobs still. Yeah, I'm going to look at those. The journey begins years ago, but the project Reset 24 marks a new beginning. We're currently in the thick of a renewed pre-production phase. The several years of silence will likely cover the period of intense architectural work. While the wait may be long, every indication suggests it's for a very good reason. And then there's some sources. But yeah, that's my estimated timeline at this point. Let's look at these new rules. Principal game designer, progression and economy for the R&D project of MMO. What is this? Principal game designer? I mean, progression and economy too are things that you think about after you've designed the game, right? Like you've already got the game designed, you've already got what people are going to be accruing in terms of for the economy, you've already got an idea of where the story is going to go. These are things that you think about after the fact. This isn't like initial pre-production where you're still trying to figure out what you're going to be doing, right, guys? This is like the game is here. We've got like the foundation of it is there. Let's figure out the economy. That's not something you think about at the beginning. Let's pull up another camp champion just for fun. I don't know if you've seen this short of Trindamir talking about the MMO. I know. I think I've seen this one where he says someone says on his stream like 2030. He says, "I hope so," right?
Is the right MMO project still on? Absolutely. Don't believe the naysayers.
Yeah.
Will you finish the right MMO before 2030? Sure hope so. Although launch is the start, not the end. So, finish.
Yeah.
Is the right MMO project still on? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't believe the naysayers. Will you finish the right MMO before 2030? Sure hope so. Although launch is the start, not the end.
Yeah. I do think this is the timeline. I think this is accurate. When it comes to the timeline, beta, I think would be considered, they finished the MMO for sure. Even alpha would be like the MMO's done. They're testing it and maybe fine tuning. And we got to remember, by the time you get alpha and beta, you're seeing cinematic trailers. You're getting news on the MMO. You're getting excited. Like 2XKO. 2XKO technically isn't out yet, guys. All right. And look how much news and excitement you're getting around 2XKO. Look at the website that you're able to interact with. Look at the community that's formed around it. Look at you're seeing all these characters. You're able to like interact with the developers more and give feedback. This beta's already out. Like by this point, it feels like 2XKO is pretty much here. So this last stretch between 2028 and 2031 are not going to feel like the game isn't out yet. It's going to feel like, oh, wow, okay, we're in alpha, we're in beta, we're getting news, we're getting cinematics, we're getting these deep dives from the creators. This is going to fly by. This is going to fly. It's 2025 to 2027, 2028, around this time where it's going to be like, it feels like a little bit longer. Let's look at these new rules. Principal game designer, progression and economy. Again, like, guys, that's a really good sign. As a principal game designer for progression. Okay, so let's read this part. This doesn't matter. As a principal game designer focused on progression and the economy, you'll build and maintain a thriving MMO player economy. You contribute to and connect the many elements like progression, skills, resources, goods, and trade. You help us create a stable and sustainable economy where all activities and player types are valued and balanced. You are comfortable operating in an ambiguous environment where the team owns its own goals and we're in charge big and small. It's a critical part of the process. And you'll report directly to the design director on the team. To read the vision, be the primary owner, create intricate rewards that enhance the overall player experience and give players satisfying long-term progression goals. I'll be honest, look, the main way to get the economy right in MMO, the main thing that you have to do is not allow freaking bots. Okay, bots ruin the economy in the MMO. I don't know why this always happened, like especially World of Warcraft was rampant with bots. It really bothered me. You destroy the economy when things become unvaluable. Like it's one thing if you're going out and you're mining a resource, right? A resource, or like picking a flower. The second you allow bots to do it, well, that bot's gonna be picking flowers all day, all night. They're gonna flood the market and they're gonna lower the price. And so now your work that you put into picking that flower or mining that ore is pretty much useless, and you shouldn't do it because you'd literally save more time buying it off the auction house, and it's for cheaper than it would cost. The time to return on investment isn't worth it anymore. You cannot allow bots into the MMO at all. Like that, this progression in economy is important as long as it doesn't get ruined by that piece. Like they're saying, you contribute to connect many elements like progression, skills, resources, and goods. Create a stable and sustainable economy where all activities and player types are valued and balanced. The second you allow bots, every single person's activities when it comes to the economy is no longer valued whatsoever. So just as important as this role is going to be whoever has the botting system. Maybe MMOs make money on bots, I'm sure. After all, like World of Warcraft, they had the freaking WoW token now where you can just buy gold because it's so useless now to actually go out and farm gold. Because literally the auction house is just full of botted material. Yeah, that's really important. It's not worth the health of the game. If I don't know if they make money on these bots, maybe they do. Like it's technically a still account, at least in World of Warcraft, right? That bot is paying a monthly subscription. So if you just killed all the bots in the game, yeah, you lose a lot of subs. But it's not worth the health of the game, decrementing that for like a short-term benefit of a subscription. Designed to iterate low-level details of the economy, including specific content, spreadsheet management, inflow and outflow of resources, to non-combat focused gameplay loots like life skills, crafting, and professions. Well, crafting and professions make sense, right? You get the ore. You craft the ore into something like a shield or whatever. Life skills is interesting. What would life skills be? Maybe it's like I wouldn't split cooking into life skills. That's still crafting, right? Unless they try to split it into like something else. Maybe like interior decorating is a life skill. I don't know. This life skill is something else. Fishing and animal husbandry. Yeah, maybe. If they split, yeah, I guess. Because right now crafting and professions, yeah, I could see life skills being fishing and stuff like that. Fishing, cooking, that kind of thing would be life skills. So it'll be it's definitely going to be a cool crafting system. I'm excited to see it. With the RUNETERRA, there's so many things that you could craft. I always say, in Freljord, for the Freljord expansion, I don't think the Freljord is coming at launch. But there's like, where is it? Yeah, look at this. True Ice, tribal weaponry. So you go up to the Freljord, you're able to, make tribal weaponry. Eventually you get really far into the Freljord and you learn to craft with True Ice, although True Ice is very unique and special and, touching a weapon like we see in the, where's League of Legends? Darius versus Trundle. Like this is a True Ice club, so it'd have to be like very small amounts of True Ice. Because literally True Ice is deadly to anyone who touches it if they're not Iceborne. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, look at this. He literally hits it and his axe starts to freeze. So I don't think it would just create a True Ice mallet. But maybe you can like ingrain small pieces of True Ice into your weaponry. There's tons of stuff like that all over RUNETERRA. Unique professions that could be, designated for those specific areas on the map. The life skills thing got me for a loop a little bit, but yeah, it's going to be Piltover and Noxus and maybe Ionia and Demacia that will come. When I was looking at the map, I have a whole video on what I think will actually come to RUNETERRA. I said definitely not the Shadow Isles. Absolutely not. Absolutely not Ishtal. Not Targon. Not Freljord. I think you'll get Demacia and Noxus are guaranteed, because this is Valoran and that's really main RUNETERRA. Shurima is maybe. Will you get Shurima? I think it's a maybe, because Shurima's got a lot of lore, and if we do get Shurima, it'll be very surface level. Piltover and Zon, I think it's more going to be Piltover, and Zon will be like the first level of Zon. You know, Zon has different levels. I think the top level is the Entroso level or something like that. You'll get that first level of Zon. You're not going to be digging too deep into Zon. I think it'll be toxic and you'll be able to go down there. Ionia, I don't think Ionia is going to be saved for an expansion. Bilgewater is possible because it'll be a hub city. You have like that hub going on where everyone can congregate. Like you can have a Noxian and Demacian meet up in Bilgewater. So it's possible, but you can do the same thing with Piltover and Zon where everyone can meet up. So the thing is, when you get Bilgewater, you can do Bilgewater and then eventually you'll start seeing the what are they called? Not the Harrowings. Yeah, the Harrowings from the Shadow Isles seep in, and that's how you'll get the expansion to the Shadow Isles. And Bilgewater, you can also have it as a jumping off point into Ishtal with the Serpentine Delta, which we've seen in a couple short stories. Piltover and Noxus, maybe Ionia and Demacia. Yeah, Piltover and Noxus for sure. I think Piltover, Noxus, and Demacia are the most guaranteed going to be in the ride MMO. This is desired qualifications, our perks. Okay, nothing else really important here. All right. Next one is the principal VFX artist for the ride MMO. As part of the real-time VFX team, you'll design and help implement the sleek, dynamic, and dramatic special effects that add atmosphere and depth to the gameplay. Yo, thanks for the follow, I9. I9 Yasuo, what's up? Dynamic and dramatic special effects and add atmosphere and depth to the gameplay. Again, like this sounds like the gameplay is already there. A lot of the pieces are already there. There's adding real-time VFX to what already exists. With your experience, you'll create aesthetically astounding visual effects that communicate essential game information. Man, you'll use artistic and technical skills to breathe life into undead spells, channel primal emotion, and capture the essence of hundreds of champions. Whoa. This was important. With your experience, you'll create aesthetically astounding visual effects that communicate essential game information. So what they're looking for here is they have all the spells. Like this champion has spells 1, 2, and 3. And they're looking for someone just to create the VFX for those spells. So again, like this is once the game is already kind of fleshed out. We have the design, we have this character, you already have the playable races, you have the classes, and now it's time to pick what this spell is going to look like. We got to make sure it's like visual, right? Where it's not too much where you can no longer see what's going on the screen, but also enough that it's impactful. So that's really important and shows that how far along it is. As a principal VFX artist on the Ride MMO team, you'll be responsible for driving the architecture of our real-time VFX system and pipelines. The role focuses on strategic technical problem solving, building scalable modular systems that will support our open world, procedural content, and compact gameplay for years to come. VFX is our game is foundational. It's not just a layer of polish. It shapes gameplay clarity, yeah, like I was saying, combat feedback, and the identity of the world itself. You'll partner across design, animation, engineering to prototype abilities, define visual language hierarchies, and create reusable systems that support thousands of effects across characters, environments, and interactions. Responsibilities. Anything important here? Drive architecture of scalable modular VFX systems and pipelines that support both rapid prototyping and long-term production. Collaborate with design and creative leads to ensure VFX enhances gameplay clarity, combat readability, and visual hierarchy, especially in large-scale MMO encounters. Define and implement performance benchmarks and optimization strategies. Okay. Author real-time VFX that balances gameplay needs and visual quality. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit, because this is kind of just nothing really important here, other than the main thing when it comes to VFX for abilities is they can't be overwhelming, and I'll show you what I mean. So if we go to, let's see, what's the most recent World of Warcraft raid? Let's just see. Not raid trailer. All right, this is Zaryu. Okay, this is Zaryu. This is a raid from World of Warcraft. Now, look how visually clear everything is. You can see like this little circle here, this green circle that's like healing. You can see that he's got like a couple mage holograms of himself. You can see that guy just humming some demons. You see he roared, all these like icons show up over everyone's heads. You see like the frost spells going at this guy. Like it's pretty clear. It's clear enough that you can see what's going on. Look at the green circles coming up from this spell. This toxic runoff coming on the bottom. You got to get away from that. Like it's clear, right? Look at that healing circle that just went out. I think it's World of Warcraft does a good job with making the spells visible. You can see what's happening, but it's not too much where you don't know what the heck's going on, and you have to think about like trying to see which spell is yours, which spell is mine. Like you can clearly see his spells and what's happening. If you're focusing on him, it's pretty easy. Oh, this is his spell, obviously. Okay. I want to show you what I don't think is great. Final Fantasy raid.
Our hearts sing in the chaos.
What the fuck is this?
And this is a lot less people. That looks cool though.
Wild and pure and forever free.
Is it gonna be like?
What? Tap it.
He's not really showing off like the actual abilities. I mean, look at this guy's screen. Look at this image right here. Look at these. I want to show you guys one. Okay.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. Massive fucking damage here. Massive fucking damage.
This looks okay right now.
What?
But I know I've seen it where I'm just like, what the heck is happening?
I should have got hit by that. I don't know why I didn't.
This looks pretty decent too. I remember looking at it at one point and just being like, I don't know what the heck's going on. But this might be more of a dungeon that he's doing rather than a raid.
It's the side. Wait, I'm gonna rest, darling.
Yeah, these are more like where are the raids? Where's like 40 guys getting together and doing a raid? Like a dungeon, man. That is okay. Okay, this looks a little bit more like what I'm talking about. Where I don't know, it's too much. It's too much going on in one spot. Too many lights going off. Like what am I supposed to be seeing here? I can't tell which character this guy person is, and I can't tell what his abilities are. No. See, that's too much. This is too far the other way. Like, we got light on the ground, everything's lit up, light on the side. Things are exploding. Like, can you even see the boss? Half the time, look, where's the boss here? Where's the boss? If you tell me where the boss is, where is it? Where is this? What is going on? That's what I mean by like when it comes to the actual spells and abilities, they can't be too much. They have to be like a little bit tasteful. You can't have like one character. Sure, it looks cool if you're playing by yourself, like as an individual. The second you get into a raid environment, I mean, what am I even seeing? I don't know who's doing what and what's happening where. I did play Final Fantasy a little bit too. It's not as clear. It's just not as clear at all in terms of compared to World of Warcraft. This stuff's fine, like the squares in the bottom and everything. It's the actual abilities being used in the boss that I'm talking about. Like when everyone starts using abilities on the boss, it's like I can't tell who's what's ability anymore. Yeah. Okay, I hope you guys understood what I'm saying. That's why this role is really important. Act as a key partner and technical voice in cross-discipline collaboration, helping unblock gameplay development and shape pipeline evolution. Represent the VFX team in strategic conversations, especially in areas involved in tech architecture, optimization, and resourcing. Strong problem-solving skills, ability to break down VFX into components that can be used across millions of players and NPCs. Experience working across disciplines, partnering with design, animation, engineering. Yeah. Okay, so nothing else really here. The main part of this is the VFX for abilities. So that's that one. And then this one, They both show what I'm talking about, which is in terms of like the timeline for the ride MMO, I really think this is it. I think this is the exact timeline that we're going to see. And when alpha hits in like 2028 to early 2029, you guys come back and be like, man, Entgrove told us. He freaking told us. It's going to be, we're right here. We're hitting like, and we're no longer going to be in pre-production. We're definitely be in production by 2026. You get an alpha probably 2028 to early 2029, beta in 2030, and then launch in 2031. And I really hope the game is just called RUNETERRA. I don't want to see it called anything else other than RUNETERRA. And then I have this other article that we can go through, which is potential playable races. Who will be... So I looked at every single race in RUNETERRA. Does Riot even do alpha? Well, they do, but it's an internal alpha. It's not as public. There's not like... You're not going to be able to sign up on the website. Like, you know, 2xKO beta. It's not like this. Everyone can just register. You have to be invited into the alpha. The whole point of every single stream and every single video that I do is just to get invited into the alpha so I can play the Rider mode earlier. Every 2 hours that I invest every morning is just for that one piece. And that's it. That's the whole reason we're here, guys, is just to get me in alpha. The call of RUNETERRA. With Riot Games MMO officially in the works, the biggest question on every future player's mind is, who will I get to be? The world of RUNETERRA is vast and filled with countless cultures and species. Choosing which of these becomes playable is a monumental task. Balancing deep lore against the practicalities of game development like model design, animations, and narrative integration. This analysis will break down the most likely candidates for the world of RUNETERRA. So the cornerstone, these are very likely they're going to be in the MMO. I do that too. I do that too. Well, you know, I'll ask them for a couple keys. Any successful MMO launches with a core set of races that are familiar yet fantastical. Analysis just right MMO will lean on the classical triad: humans, Vastaya, and Yordles. These are obvious to anyone. These are going to be playable. I mean, like, it mirrors really the human elf dwarf, where the Yordle is kind of like the dwarf, the elf is the Vastaya, and then you have the humans. It's basic archetype. It's gonna be in the game. Humans guaranteed playable. They are the most populous and dominant species in RUNETERRA, forming the backbone of the most major nations. To make the perfect accessible entry point for new players. The real stage to play with human will be the incredible cultural diversity, like implementing through the regional sub-race systems. This is an efficient development choice using a single base model that can be customized with unique textures, gear, and abilities reflecting RUNETERRA's iconic factions. You have Demacia, Noxie, and Freljord built over. Humans are everywhere. You can see, like, this is a human in Targon. He's a Solari. This is a Lunari in Targon. This is a Shuriman. This is Noxus. There's Ambessa. There's Lee Sin in Ionia. There's Tryndamere in the Freljord. Humans everywhere, right? Most populous group in RUNETERRA are the humans. Then there's the Vastaya. The Vastaya are chimeric beings with both human and animal traits, making them the perfect exotic and beastkin race. Their lore presents countless tribes from the fox-like Vasani to the feline Kilash and aquatic Marai. I don't think you'll be able to play the Marai just because their models would be difficult. Creating unique models for every tribe is impractical. A more likely approach is a human plus character model. Players would start with a humanoid base and customize it with a vast selection of like tribal features, ears, tails, horns, fur patterns, and scales. This offers deep customization while remaining manageable for developers. The Vastaya struggles against human expansion, also provides a powerful built-in narrative hook for players. And we see that in the Ambessa book, in terms of like Vastaya struggle with humans expansion. Literally in Kumungro, there's a Vastayan tribe that's literally being weakened because the forest of Kumungu is getting taken away and becoming weaker. Vastaya equal any other race. In a lot of cases, you're not wrong. The Vastaya family tree. Let me use this one. Vastaya. Yeah, okay. Vastaya. So Vastaya all come from the Vastaya Shirei, and there's all these branches of them. You can see like Ari, just over here. So you have like the Landwalker tribes, you have the tribes of the sea, you have some shapeshifters, you have tribes of the sky. And really that's because they all originate from Vastaya Shirei. So Vastaya Shirei over here were the ones that battled the Titans. They were immortals, humans, that took the power of the spirit realm into themselves to battle the Titans a long time ago in Ionia. Merged with humans, and then you get these different tribes that branched off from them. The sea, the sky, and the land. So the thing is, there's so many branches that it comes off as, you know, Vastaya are just everywhere. But then some people do confuse certain characters with Vastaya. That you'll see them. Do you think Minotaur will be going to be playable? Oh, we're going to get to Minotaur. But yeah, Vastaya, I think you start out with like a human base, and then you can add like a couple features in there of different Vastaya that will make it, you know, your own unique Vastaya. Because Vastaya really, they don't have a lot in common other than their base. You know, like everyone from the Ari clan will probably have fox ears and some tails. They do actually. You see that in Rune King. But there's just so many of them. Yordles will be playable. They're a quintessential small race archetype. People want to be small for some reason. This animatic, often furry spirits from the mystical Bandle City are a must-have for visual diversity. Their lore offers unique gameplay opportunities as spirits. Their death could be explained as their essence returning to Bandle City to reform. A perfect in-universe explanation for the player's respawn mechanic. Yeah, they could literally lean into that, and as a Yordle, when you die, instead of going to like a graveyard and running back to your body, how it's done in World of Warcraft, for Yordles, you'll just go back to Bandle City and then run through a Bandle gate, through the Bandle Woods to get back to your body. Despite their cute appearance, characters like Kled, Unhinged Warrior, and Vex, Gloomy Mage prove that Yordle players won't be locked into a single personality type, which is important for those who are like into, what is it called? Role playing. So Yordles, playable for sure. These are the obvious ones. Guaranteed, playable, no questions asked. Now, likely and possible. These are races that I do think will be playable and are pretty likely to be playable beyond those core three. They're not as guaranteed as these, but I think they have a decent chance of getting in. Trolls. Trolls are a strong candidate. They're a large brute race archetype. Far from being simple monsters, RUNETERRA's trolls have complex tribal societies in the Freljord. Frost trolls and Shurima has sand trolls. The main hurdle is their size, which complicates armor design and navigation in player spaces. But these are solvable problems in modern MMO. You can just have like a group of these trolls that you actually are playable. Like not all troll groups are playable, but there's a particular tribe in the Freljord and a tribe in Shurima that is playable. Minotaurs. I do think Minotaurs are going to be playable. Every single Minotaur that we know of in RUNETERRA all come from the Great Barrier. Fulfilling a classic fantasy archetype, Minotaurs are a strong contender for a playable race. They are a distant species, not a Vastayan tribe, distinct species, not a Vastayan tribe, and their history is a diaspora often clashing with Noxus, which makes them narratively flexible. We see them integrated into multiple factions from the Noxian military to Demasia's dauntless vanguard, making them an easy fit for most starting regions. Like trolls, they present a large model design challenge, but their strong fantasy appeal makes them a likely and welcome addition. So I do think that we will see Minotaurs and trolls, and I think they would be playable in the right MMO. Chirian. We're getting into the possible. Like these are pretty likely. I think Chirian I put right here because it is possible. They're a unique bat-like humanoid species native to the deep caves of Zon. They are a distinct biological race, not a product of augmentation, and lore has shown us two bloodlines, the more Bistali Nocti and the more humanoid Fulgor, which are seen in Arcane. Like the Nocti are the ones that you see in Legends of Runeterra. They're like a little bit shorter, and they have like they kind of like a different foot look. But then in Arcane, we can see these are the Fulgor, which look more humanoid, and that's Scar. So you can see them in Arcane. As a playable race, they offer a truly unique aesthetic. However, their specific physiology and less developed lore might make them a better fit for a post-launch expansion centered on Zon rather than a starting choice at launch. I think we'll get them eventually, but I think they'll come in the Zon expansion and not at the launch of the right MMO. The Augmented. This is a truly innovative concept that captures the transformative fantasy of Piltover and Zon. Instead of a biological race, players could choose to be an augmented, starting as a human and modifying their body with technology. Customization could include construct golems, which is a fully mechanical bodies built around a Hextech crystal core, or cyborgs, which is hex augmented, mortals who have replaced their flesh with superior Hextech prosthetics in the vein of characters like Camille and Victor. This path was offered unparalleled visual customization and could tie directly into crafting systems, making it a powerful and engaging player fantasy. So that would be the augmented. I think they could be a playable race. They could turn it into like just you're a human in Vestaya, and eventually with the Zon expansion you can augment, but they could also be an own selectable race as well. Powers beyond the player. Unlikely and not likely at all. Some of RUNETERRA's most iconic beings are fundamentally unsuited for player character role. Their exclusion is a deliberate world-building choice and establishing a power scale that makes the player's journey from adventurer to hero feel meaningful. These beings are the endgame, the bosses to fight, and the gods to appease. There's a branch, whoop, brain skipped. There's a branch, whoops, brain skipped. I don't know what you mean by branch. The undead. The sentient undead are almost entirely products of the Shadow Isles, bound by the horrors of the Black Mist. This geographical and narrative prison makes them an unlikely launch race. So I know some people really like being undead, but if you're undead in RUNETERRA, you're not going anywhere. Okay, the Shadow Isles locked you in. You're only able to travel as far as the Black Mist. And if the Black Mist is covering all of RUNETERRA, allowing for you to travel the world, we've got bigger problems than you. The problem is Viego and the end of RUNETERRA itself. So that's a problem. However, this inclusion would likely be a major feature of an inevitable Shadow Isles expansion. Once players help free the Isles from the Black Mist, it's conceivable that souls once trapped there will linger and join our side, free to travel RUNETERRA, similar to how Thresh now operates. My first app message got blocked by automod? Really? I didn't even know I had an auto mod. I didn't think I'd set up anything like that, but I mean, it probably just blocked. Maybe it thought, like you said, a word that wasn't approved or something like that. Yeah, they'll be playable, and they will be like Thresh eventually, where you can journey through RUNETERRA, but at launch, you're very much constricted to the Shadow Isles, and so you're not going to be playable. The Voidborn. A lot of people say, oh, I want to play a Voidborn. You're not going to play a Voidborn at launch. The Voidborn are alien creatures from a dimension of pure nothingness, driven by an intense instinct to unmake and consume all of reality. Their fundamental nature makes them a poor fit for a player character. However, don't start feeling like, oh, it's impossible. I'll never make a Voidborn. I'm going to cry. Don't. Hey, calm down. The existence of Kaisa, a human who survived by bonding with a void symbiote, opens a slim, speculative path. A future void-themed expansion could potentially introduce a highly specialized void touch race or class, but this remains a distinct possibility and not a launch consideration. So eventually, we're going to be playing the right MMO. Everyone's going to be so happy. We're going to be having so much fun. The Ikathia expansion comes out. You know Kai'Sa's going to be playing a big part of that expansion. It's going to be like our guide. And eventually there's people who look up to Kaisa and kind of want to be a part of her, or maybe they add to the lore and kind of retcon the past, and where she already has a following group. And that'll be a playable race of Voidborn. Although not really Voidborn, right? You're more in line with Kaisa, where you're a human and then you kind of took some void into yourself. But you're never going to be like freaking... Guys, you're not going to be able to play this, okay? Where is it? Where is he? Yeah, this is not going to be playable, okay? You're not going to be able to play the Rek'Sai. You're not going to be able to play a Kha'Zix. That's not a playable race. Aren't Chirians Vestaya? No. Vestaya. Chirians are not Vestaya. There's a lot of races that people think are Vestaya that are not. Chirians are their own species. They come from the Sumps of Zon. They're like humans or Yordle. They come from their own place. They originated from the Sumps of Zon, and they're their own species altogether. They don't come from Vastaya Shirei or anything like that. Should be branched? No. Which some have instituted comes from the IRL bat names called Chiropetia. Let's see. I don't think that's even. Let me see the Vastaya family tree. Chira, the silent chorus, but that's tribes of the sky. They're definitely not that. And the Chirians are descendants of the Chira. I don't think so. It's possible, right? If Riot wants to change the lore in the future, they could absolutely make Chirians fall under Vastaya in some roundabout way and say they come from a tribe of Vastaya that literally just moved to Zon all together at once and never went anywhere else. But currently in the lore, they're not Vastaya. They're their own race that originated from the Sumps of Zon. They existed in the Sumps of Zon before even humans went down there. Because humans go down there and discover the Chirian. It's not like they were there and like the Vastaya Chirian went down there. They started like deciding they wanted to live in the Sump. Hey Holding, what's up? I do like a good orange. Iceborn. Unlikely, guys. The Iceborn are individuals with a rare hereditary magical aptitude that grants resistance to cold and the ability to handle true ice and dark ice, stemming from an ancient bargain with Lysandra. Because this is a trait that can be found in multiple species like humans and trolls rather than a distinct race, it's unlikely to be a standalone option. While other MMOs have turned rare groups into playable races like warlocks in World of Warcraft, the extreme rarity of Iceborn in the lore makes them a poor fit for a playable race or even class. They are simply too few in number to justify being a widespread player choice. So if you were thinking, I want to be an Iceborn, probably not. It's unlikely. There's very few of them. You have to be born. It's a hereditary thing. The only way it could ever work is maybe Lysandra finds a way to give like the ability of being Iceborn to people, and then it becomes a playable class in the Freljord expansion. That's possible. And that's the only way that it would ever work. But in terms of like just being playable, especially not at launch, Iceborn's not going to happen. The Ascended. I've heard some people say they wanted to play Ascended. The Shuriman Ascended are immortals remade by the immense celestial power of the Sun Disk. Beings like Azir, Nasus, and Renekton are effectively demigods, possessing strength that can level armies. Starting a game at this power level would invalidate the entire concept of progression, which is the core loop of an MMO. They are the epic forces that players will one day fight against or alongside, not become from the start. So you will not be an Ascended of Shurima, if that was your hope. If you were looking at Nasus and Renekton and saying, I want to be like that, that's probably not going to happen. The Darkin. I've heard some people say they want to be Darkin. The Darkin are fallen Ascended god warriors corrupted by the horrors of the void and their own hubris, who are sealed within their weapons. Characters like Aatrox and Rost are not just powerful, they are the sentient weapons of mass destruction whose very existence threatens the world. Their rarity is absolute, and their narrative function is that of major antagonists or a corrupting influence, not a heroic adventure. Okay? It's not you, my guy. Alright? You are not going to be a Darkin. No one's going to be a Darkin. Cosmic beings, celestials, spirits, dragons. I can group all these together. Not likely at all as well. This category means are fundamentally aspects of the universe. Celestials like Aurelian Soul forge stars. Spirits like Anivia and Ornn embody primal forces. And dragons are ancient superior race. Their scale and power are simply incompatible with an MMO playable perspective. This also includes a Targonian Ascended, mortals who climb Mount Targon and choose as hosts for celestial aspects like Leona, Diana, and Pantheon. This diversity is exceptionally rare, world-altering event, not a starting option for a player character. So, if you say, man, Tarek is awesome, I want to climb Mount Targon and become an Ascended host and go wipe the floor with everything, probably not going to happen. If you can't be Ascended, you definitely can't be Darkened. Exactly. But there's people that need that kind of clarity. I think you really know the lore, Luffy. And I'll tell you this, a lot of people do not know the lore. You know, I'm amazed how many people don't know the lore of RUNETERRA. I think even just people pulling up this map is like a shock to them. Like, I think Zaryu map of RUNETERRA, I think he just recently found the map and he was like, what the heck is this? Yeah. Yeah. Right, MMO was not canceled. People are just starting to discover that, oh yeah, the MMO was not canceled.
I thought it was for sure clickbait, but they they already have this. RUNETERRA
Yeah.
began exploring. Yeah, this is already 100% like real. Okay,
It's real.
so this isn't even like speculation. The great city of Demacia, Noxus. Yeah, and they have the territories here and to the east. That's crazy. And then in the upper right, you can see all the champs that like belong to this territory. Although I can't move my mouse to see. Kind of mouse over them. Man, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's already here, guys. It's already here. Just let them cook. Like I said, man, I think it's a green flag that they're delaying it versus rushing
That's
it.
what I say.
That's what a good MMO needs is time.
Yep.
That's what most companies don't want to do is give it time.
Yeah, because they want to make the money as fast as possible.
Map.leagueoflegends.com.
Yeah, people are just now discovering that the MMO exists again. They're like, wait, I thought this was canceled. Do you guys know how many videos I have where people would... I've been making RUNETERRA lore videos for how long now? For freaking years, guys. Years at this point. We did shift in strategy a little bit recently with trying to do like these live streams where I talk with you guys with the lore as well. But it's been like 3 years, I think. I've been making RUNETERRA lore videos. I haven't done anything else other than that. How do I go all the way to like the end without having to click through all of these? Yeah, I like RUNETERRA. Last page. My first RUNETERRA lore video came out in August 29th of 2022. And I think my most, in terms of comments that sync, like across time, where like the same comment over and over and over again, I think the number one would be that people think their item is canceled. People don't even think that it's still a thing anymore. Like they actually believe that the MMO is canceled. It was canceled a while ago, and here we are today without it in our lives. Guys, it's not canceled. It exists. It's going to come out. It's going to be great. It's just a matter of when it comes out. Yo, what up, individual? Yeah, I read it. I read the lore. I don't know all of it yet, but I'm reading up on it. The lore is freaking great. If you want to start like with a lore video, I have a couple. There's one like what is it? I think I titled it like RMMO lore or something like that. Lore you need to know for the Riot. Yeah, RUNETERRA lore beginner's guide for Riot's MMO world is a really good one. It's an older video, but it's a good one from me. And then I would recommend you go to either How Lysandra Doomed RUNETERRA, or you go to the most powerful character in RUNETERRA lore, because both those cover like a wide breadth of lore from beginning of RUNETERRA to present day. And then you can go into like the Lich King or why Demacia is magus and stuff. Hey, yo, can I ask anything about the lore? You can ask me anything about the lore. Dimitri. Yeah, ask away. That sounds cool to me. Ask me a question and I'll do my best to answer it. Yeah, that's what I would recommend if I were you. If I wanted to go through the lore, that's what I would do. I do only got 4 minutes left, though, to stream. So, throw your question. I bought the Realms of RUNETERRA book recently, been reading that. The Realms of RUNETERRA book is freaking great. And then if you end up going farther than that and you start reading the Ambessa books, I'd recommend you first read the book Ambessa and then watch Arcane Secret Origins Revealed, The Black Rose, Mel's Power, and more. And so this is my like overview of the book and what I thought and the lore nuggets that were in there. Do you think Janna and Evelyn work the same? Well, Janna is like a god in some ways in Zon, and Evelyn is a demon. So that's an interesting question. Do Janna and Evelyn work the same? Evelyn's a demon, and she feeds on fear. Let me pull them both up. So she does feed on like a human emotion, right? So if we go to Evelyn, she's a demon, feeds on fear. How do you spell Evelyn? Is it 2 N's? Yeah, Evelyn feeds on fear. So the more, or not fear, but like a type of fear. I think it's like pain. Is it pain? Something like that? I forgot with Evelyn. like she's a demon, and so the more people experience this type of, because I know she's under the fear tree possibly, but actually I don't think she's actually under there. Regardless, demon feeds on a type of emotion. I think with Evelyn it's pain. So the more pain that humans inflict, she will get more powerful from it, right? Just like Fiddlesticks feeds on actually fear, and the more people fear, the more he grows in power. Compared to Jana, Jana is like a spiritual being. So with spirit beings, the more people worship them, the more powerful the more powerful they become. So she's almost like Volibear and Ornn type deal with the spirit god. Like she's a mysterious wind spirit. And the people of Zon worship her. Agony, right? Agony, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Agony. Thanks, Luffy. So Evelyn feeds on agony. Freaking Agony's embrace right there. The more agony that she's able to inflict and cause on humans, the more powerful she becomes. But Jana more looks for worship and like praise from humans because she's a spiritual being from the spirit realm. And that's how all of these spirit beings work. She's almost like a Kanmi from Ionia as well. They just, the more people pray to them and worship them and believe in them, the stronger they become. That's why Kindred is so powerful, because it's the god of death. So many people believe in the god of death of Kindred with the wolf and the lamb. So they become extremely powerful. But if everyone forgot them tomorrow, they would become very weak. And then what comes for spiritual beings when they become too weak? The Aether Fiend. So even spiritual beings have death potential. As my time on this place comes to a close, I find myself pondering not my first death, but the second. Who will be the lost soul to remember my name? Who will be the last soul to remember my name? And when they too fall to this earth, what will become of me? And so this is the Aether Fiend, and you can see this spirit being. This was probably the death god of the Shadow Isles, which was the Blessed Isles, and the Aether Fiend is coming for them to kill them. Eventually, all will be forgotten. The Aether Fiend. There's some crazy voice lines here. So this is the fading icon. I truly believe that it's like, was the death god of the Blessed Isles. And so because they don't die anymore, they've forgotten them.
If I'm forgotten, then no. Yes. Soon, little one. Soon. No, I have time. I have time.
We see a couple. It's agony. Yeah. We see a couple of Zonites praying to Jana, Mural and Arcane. Funny enough, yeah, they do. Jana is like worshipped in a lot of ways. Which, think about it, if you're in like the sump of Zon, and clean air is literally a commodity that you hope for, then the god of wind, like clean wind, clean air, almost is worshipped by you. That makes sense to me. Gotta head back to work. I'll try to be here in the stream tomorrow. Yeah, I gotta go too. Guys, these are only the parts that I love about streaming the most. And this is the parts that why I'm really been doing it is because like being able to talk to people about the lore is way more fun than me just making videos on my own. I think I will make these videos again. I'm gonna decide today if I want to break these stream clips off into a separate channel or if I want to keep them on the same channel, just because they're so different from my other videos, which were like this video took like a month of work to do versus these videos, which are just clips. So I wonder if I might separate it out, but I'm gonna decide that today. Guys, thanks so much for joining the stream. Thanks so much for exploring the lore with me, and I will see you guys tomorrow. See ya.